My only issue with Jimmy Kimmel and this whole brouhaha he finds himself inflamed with is not that, oh my God, you can't say a joke. I am incredibly alarmed by what appears to be our First Amendment rights being attacked. This is what I do for a living. I don't like that. But you know he's coming. And you know part of the reason why is to get back at everybody who tried to take him down. They didn't try to keep him out of the White House and that was it. They tried to throw him in prison. The man is coming. And you have to adjust accordingly.
So this was despicable. Luckily.
Do not listen to that. I want you to think of anybody ever that you've respected. Think about Tubman, King, Chisholm, Baldwin, X, Evers, Baker, Rustin, whoever it is, think about the people that you've respected and the way they reacted to the American political reality. They never acted accordingly. They acted how they had to. What they were able to do was analyze the moment that they were in and then meet that moment. Meet that moment. Analyze the danger. Analyze the precarious situation that they're in and then meet it and put something on the line. Acting accordingly in the situation can only be interpreted as don't talk too loud, massa is mad.
Van Lathan was there to check Stephen A. Smith on his own show, which is called Higher Learning.
That's what I'd say about Stephen Colbert or anybody else. Part of winning the game is knowing the game you're playing and adjusting accordingly to ensure that when all is said and done, you come out on top. And I was of the mindset that Jimmy Kimmel, you've got to know that. And all of us have to know that to some degree and operate accordingly. For certain severe critics of him, the man is coming. He's not playing around. He's unapologetic about the retribution he's willing to exact against anybody he deems harmful to his ego, his psyche, his presidency. You have to remember that with Trump, and the government itself, particularly as presently constructed, they're looking and accusing folks of being fair and partial. They're not being fair and balanced. That's the accusation that they're making. If you know that's what his fight is going to be, make sure that you don't hesitate to criticize others on the opposite side just as equally. So when he comes complaining about you, he can't say that you've been biased and discriminate against him and his administration.
Smith would not only say the same sweet nothings on his podcast, but he did the same on CNN with Laura Coates.
I'm telling you right now that if you do, as prescribed by Stephen A. Smith in that statement, what you are giving way to is a new and reinforced way of life. What you are saying is that it is okay. You're saying that everything that could happen to you because one person or one group or one wing of this is mad or upset or ready to rumble, you're saying you won't fight. You're saying that the better thing than fighting it or talking about it is to acquiesce to it, because if you lay real still, it'll be over soon. Do not listen to that. Ooh. That right there is part of the plan. It's part of the plan. I'm not telling you to take to the streets. I'm telling you to donate to somebody that's taken to the streets. I'm not telling you to run for office. I'm telling you to vote. I'm not telling you you have to be the change in your cubicle where you are. I am telling you that you have to recognize that change is needed. And you cannot do that if you turn your voice down at the time when it is needed most. Don't listen to him.
Van is right, because no one should be taking advice on how to act in this moment than the highest paid person in that building, Stephen A. Smith. It's an outrageous thing to do. Another thought, why is Smith on these shows, man? What is he offering? Why does CNN keep asking him to come on? What does it say about media in this present day that he has a seat at the table on any of these platforms, no matter the network? I mean, alarm bells should be going off in y'all's heads with this. What I think is personally indicative of his approach towards all of this is when Laura Coates decided to ask Stephen A. Smith about Kamala Harris, her book, etc. And let's be clear about a few things. Okay, actually, I'll tell you what he said, and then I'll get into a few things. Coates asked him the question. He did his dramatic, I believe her political career is over. Like, we've seen this for 20 years. We know exactly what he's doing. Every sports fan knows exactly what he's doing. We all see it. We all know it. This is his shtick. He's just playing a character within a different industry, a different topic, because he is very desperate to not be attached to ESPN. He wants to have a life after ESPN, outside of ESPN. And the best way to promote the sports stuff is by doing the politics stuff. And the best way to promote the politics stuff is doing the sports stuff. And he sees it as one hand washing the other because Disney is going down the tubes, as we have already seen, with the way that they buckled to fascistic tendencies within this federal government and the presidency as a whole, and the FCC chairman, Brendan Carr. And now they're saying, no, actually, whoopsie daisy, trickery. We're going to put him back on the air, as in Jimmy Kimmel. What gets me so much about this is that it's so just blatantly obvious at this point what Stephen A. Smith's goals are. He probably wants to be in line to host Kimmel. He is clearly in a solid relationship with Steve Bannon, Byron Donalds, Riley Gaines, Ben Shapiro. He is making a play, in my opinion, in one of two avenues. The first is taking Jimmy Kimmel's spot. He has wanted that so bad for so many years. He's talked about it on his own show. He's talked about it on Part of My Take on Barstool Sports. It's blatant. The second is, and what I think is the most consistent, is having something after ESPN, because even though he is set for life, if any of us were to make $100 million by being a hot take artist, you'd probably ride off into the sunset, right? Like Ellen. He won't. He clings to power, and the only thing that he cares about, sadly, is his name being in the news and being talked about. So he is bringing the hot takeness to politics. It doesn't deserve it. We don't want it. We should be rejecting it. But here he is. Here he is on CNN, giving all these takes and also saying that, you know what we should do as a collective? We should bend the knee to fascism. No. We're not going to do that. You can do that. We're not going to do that. And I'm glad that Van Lathan is putting him on blast, because although we have seen some folks within media do this, we need more prominent voices. We need more people calling this out, because it's dangerous what he's saying. Oh, you're against a fascistic takeover of the United States? You don't like living in a dictatorship? Too bad. Fall in line. Adjust accordingly. Nah. That's how fascists rule, Stephen A. So I vehemently reject everything that you stated. And the fact that you're doubling and tripling down on this shows that you simply cannot admit a mistake. Ever.